Hello everybody, welcome back to part 10. Part 10, can you believe it? This is a polymer clay time-lapse sculpting demonstration. I'm making an elephant, as you can see. Look how amazing. He's got his ears on now, he's got eyes, he looks cute, and he is almost ready to go. In this video, I do the eyes and the ears. This is an ongoing video series, and it's part 10. Welcome to this time-lapse video. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, first thing I want to do is the eyes. I want to do the eyes before I do the ears. This is actually the second time me doing this because I filmed this in 1080p and continuous focus was on, which is my worst enemy. Nothing is moving here. There's no reason to have it focusing constantly. So I'm going to do this again for you. Knock the eye off there. Here's the eyes I made in the last video. I'm going to look at the eye first, and like where it's been sitting, I don't want to have that exposed, so I'll just stick it in, where it was sitting, that flat mark. I'm just gonna push it on like so. And I got this little piece of clay right here. It's just a kind of like a snake, a little sausage or whatever, tapered slightly. I'm going to just put this on right here, about like that. And I got another one that's slightly smaller. I'm going to put it about like that. This is just the general area. Now I have all the clay there that needs to be there. I can push and pull. I can do all the things I need to do now that the clay is there. I'm going to shape like a box-like area around this eye. And it's super easy. Check this out. Watch how I do this. I'm going to push down on top and on the back right here and in the front. Now you have this fancy angle going on, this boxy look on top. I don't want to push too much. And then for down here, same thing, kind of push a little bit. Okay, now I can take this tool right here and drag that clay to the original sculpture. Finish it off with my thumb. We're just working on the outside of it right now. I'll mess with the eye part here in a second. It's sometimes best to just remove excess clay instead of trying to smooth it onto there. Wind up creating a crazy mess. Okay, now the top, see how it's blended in with the original, what I had going on there? Now down here, I'm gonna push in a little bit, changing the shape of that. Try not to dig into the sculpture there too much. Okay, one more spot right here, and then I'll start doing the centers. Alright, now that clay is all around that. Now I'm gonna push down this clay like this on the top and the bottom. I'm kind of opening up the eye again. This is that eye socket is what I'm building now. And if it's not making sense, it will once I put the eyelids on. Which I'll go ahead and do. This looks pretty good. And just kind of press on it a little bit on the top and on the bottom. Now I'm going to roll out a real tiny snake. Like so. And put it right above the eye, not covering the eye too much. It can be up on that other clay. Where really this is how you build the shape of the eye shape itself. All plays out right here. I just cut that off. Now I have another tiny snake. You guessed it, goes right underneath. Now I got a real crude thing going on right here. The eye it's a little closed in. So let me just push the clay up and down to try to open that back up. Now I'm going to gently press to flatten this a little bit on the top and the bottom. Now I have this eye started, and from here you just kind of tweak it here and there. However, you then I take some alcohol and a nylon brush and brush it on around. As the alcohol dries, it starts to break down that clay, and a lot of that tool work will disappear. In fact, all of it will. The more you do it, the more it'll break down. And then you just come back after this and redo areas that need it, that didn't kind of break down correctly. Or I can even fix all this around here where I had to remove it. So to fix that, I would just come like this and move my brush along the contours, which you want to do that first before you start texturing it, so you know all your surfaces are correct, your peaks and valleys, so to speak, of the actual physical sculpture. Once that's correct, then you can come back with texturing and just apply the texturing, and that should be done from there. Okay, for the ear part, I'm going to keep things very simple here. I got these matching ears. I'll show you how I made them. This sheet of clay rolled out, it's the full thickness, and what I did is I just took the sculpture I'm using, the guide, and pressed it onto it, the sheet, made an impression like that, so that I can cut through two sheets at one time. That's how I got this right here. Once again, if you don't have the convenience of using, a knick-knack or a sculpture or something, you would just be tracing the pattern of your photo you're going by using calipers or whatnot. But this is how I'm getting identical pieces to work with to start this off. Okay, now with my two pieces orientated like this, the flat pieces will be facing forward and the rounded parts will be facing towards his rear. Took a while to figure that out, but it'll go on something like this. I'll have to put them on individually, but this is the theory right here. I'm pressing on there quite well, smashing it all the way flat towards the end where it's bonded on there really well. So now I got it attached. That's at least step one. I just rolled me out a snake, and I'm going to cut that in half. Kind of draw it out just a little bit. Need it just a little bit longer. I'm going to do them both while I'm at it, so I don't wonder later, what did I do to that other one? Okay, so now they're the same, and I'm going to take this thick part and attach it right about here. Now look. Now I'll run it along the top of the ear like that, and that creates like a little pocket right there, and then just pinch over the flat part to the snake that I just added, being careful not to pull it right back off the sculpture. So now we got the start of an ear. Now I'll just continue working that on with my tool here. I don't know if that's a good shot for you. You can see the back side of the ear right here. I'm gonna touch that area up. I'm just adding a little tapered teardrop, I guess. Bulky part facing down. Same concept, I guess. And then I'm gonna smash that down in there. I'm supporting the back of this with my finger, but I'm still pressing gently. Compressing the clay, but gently. Because clay ears are fragile, no matter how magnificent the beasts are. Okay, that's really on there. I still got a little bit of roughness right there at the top. That should be in sight right there. See, when I'm filming, it's not just sculpting. I have to stop every few seconds and look at the view screen and see if I'm in focus. There's a lot going on, and it's a wonder I'm even able to sculpt. But being a content creator is my true passion. It's really not even about sculpting. It's about making great videos for you. And sculpting is just a means, an outlet for that, a possibility. to make it possible, or whatever. Okay, check this ear out. It's all attached. It's looking really, really good. That looks... I thought I was not going to be able to do the ears. I don't know why. Just like every other part of the sculpture. And remember, I just did that to the other one, so all I have to do is attach that. And I could change the angle to I want them to point out a little bit away from each other. Maybe. I can mess with that later. But let me go ahead and get the next one on. See if I can't copy what I just did. Because that looks great. So that's how it went on. The flat part facing forward. You can see all the pieces involved now. Boom. Boom. That's it right there. So now I do the same thing on this side, which will be another good angle for you, hopefully. I'm trying to go as far away from the eye as possible because I need distance. Remember earlier I had mentioned that there was a flaw in my design. The formatting is a little bit weird on this elephant. It needs to be a little longer. But that's neither here nor there, so I'm making do with what I can. One thing I wasn't thinking is my tilt. I need to keep that going, keep up that consistency with that tilt. So I'm just going to make one a little lower than the other. That's pretty simple. Slightly. The height needs to be slightly lower. That should be it right there. I'm really liking it. So I'm going to grab the bottom of his chin, or not chin, but his throat area where it's real stable, and push, smashing that on right there where my thumb is touching basically, but not on the body. Adding my little snake here, but before I push this down onto the head, I want to just put it on here and get a good look. It never hurts to get a good feel for what's going on before you finalize something. See, I didn't have it where I wanted it. Right around here is where it looks like that mask comes out of the skull, the head. It looks uniform, symmetrical. So I'll go ahead and push this on. And on the back side, drag it around to... Alright, take one quick look at it to make sure it's, consistent. Two more slightly larger teardrops. Not only does adding clay to these key areas make it look right, but it increases the attachability of the ear to the skull. Guys, I really appreciate you for taking the time to watch this video. It means a lot. In the next video, I'll be doing all the texturing. I'll also be adding some clay to the butt area and adding the tail on. It should be a real quick little thing that I can kind of jam in there with the texturing. Looking forward to that. Let me know what you think of this project so far. And until next time, I will see you here again soon. Thank you so much for watching.